A healthy food place where we share ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. So I am Grace Enemali, Gracious Grace, and I teach people how to take back their health. And so today's topic is on 8 things that you need to do if you are feeling sick. Do these 8 things. And why do I come about the 8 things? It's exactly what I do. Because on this channel, I help people recover, take back their health through natural foods by educating them what worked for me. And so, like I said earlier on, the video, this very life was mistaken for the other life, but then we may still have the one of tomorrow. And so, what exactly do I mean when I say you need to do these 8 things if you are feeling sick? Now, if you are feeling sick, sorry, let me share this live too. So if you are feeling sick, then it means that your immune system has come under attack. And there are many things that can cause it. Now, why am I even talking about this? These are the things that I do practically anytime I come under attack. I'm talking of my immune system. And so a good number of them are things that are free. I mean, absolutely free. It's just that you need to know exactly. So there is nobody that is too knowledgeable that cannot have moments when he or she is down or sick. Even if you are a health doctor, a medical doctor, a nurse, a dietitian, or whatever you may be. Because again and again, our system are thrown out of balance. That's exactly what I mean by that. But there are certain things that I do, and I'm going to go straight. Because I'm Madogo. Hi, my queen, you're welcome. God bless you. And bless you too. So I want to share with you some of the things that I do anytime I'm feeling sick. And when you are feeling sick, a good number of times before you start feeling those symptom messages, your body have started sending you messages, signals that your all is not well on the inside. But a good number of times, a good number of times, many of us are too busy, including myself. But then you need to be paying attention to those signals that your body is sending to you and know what to do. Most times it may come in form of inflammations, pains, small pains. It could be back pain, backache. Another day is neck pain. Some other day is sore throat. The other day is toothache. The other day it could be anywhere. So these are signs that a battle is already ongoing inside your body without you even knowing it. So those little pains are messages that your body, sometimes some people could have headache. So, but myself, I want you to ensure that you pay attention, because there is some things that I tested lately that honestly worked for me, especially with respect to the common disease we call malaria. Because a lot of people hardly go to hospital or to doctor anymore. Any little symptom, we say it's malaria, and we start going for the over-the-counter medication. Yes, the malaria exists, I know very well, caused by Anopheles, the female Anopheles mosquito. We know it, and there are different strains of it. I mean, when they do the test, but that's not the subject for today. The subject for today are those symptoms that the body normally presents to us when the work is already when the problem is already existing inside of us. Number one thing to do is you have to fast. Yes, you have to fast, especially in the night, in the evening. If you don't want those symptoms to get you down, you need to fast. As a matter of fact, a few days I was really a little bit under the weather. I have to tell you the truth. And let me quickly also highlight what led to it. I have been off garlic for a fairly long time now. Why? Because of too many Chinese and fake garlic around. So I was like off garlic. And if you watch my videos, I don't joke with garlic. And this is the cold season here. We are in the height of it, very cold every day, both day and night, very, very cold. Sometimes it's raining. I've been off garlic, I've been a bit slightly off ginger. Yes, that is the truth. And then I was using other spices, lemon, even I was off lemons for about 2-3 days. So over time, the immune system began to suffer without my knowing it. And some of you who are watching me, you will notice that when you are in full health, I mean, when you are enjoying yourself, all is going well, you tend to relax a little bit with some of the things you are doing to keep yourself up. I mean, your health. Sometimes you tend to relax. Even some of the foods that you were trying to avoid, you start sneaking them in. That is what we do. You are not alone, my dear. I am also, we are in it together. Let me put it that way. So sometimes you begin to relax a little. Relax, and as you keep relaxing, boom, the bacteria will start building up, increasing. Then you start getting things like insomnia, poor blood circulation, clogged arteries, sometimes some tickling like cough and all of that. So, but you don't have to wait until your body begins to be hot. That is the climax of it, to me. Don't wait or do things that will make your temperature to rise. That is, if you ask me, your temperature rising is the highest cry that your body can cry out for you to know that it's under attack. Because if you are feeling those symptoms, if you are fasting, especially in the evening, eat your food maybe around 1, 2, 3 and stop. Don't eat in the evening. If you want to eat in the evening, let it be something citrus, like orange, just one orange. You have orange at home, especially this rainy season. I'm telling you, that's number one thing you need to do. You need to reduce food. Food is the greatest task. Digesting food is one of the biggest tasks that our body faces, especially when it's under attack. And so if you reduce the food, especially the evening food, replace it with things like orange, if you want to take something, things that are liquid, things that are natural, things that are raw. Don't even say you are taking green tea or cocoa. Just do these natural things, especially those that have vitamin C. Take them towards the evening. Those that can support your heart. For those that are over 60 years, for instance, like myself, you can just, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. So you need to fast. Reduce the food. Then number 2 thing you need to do is run away from carbohydrates. That's what I do. Especially a day or two. You can be very mindful of starchy food. They are going to place heavy load on your body. And your body is not in the best position to handle it. It will affect you. Excuse me. It's going to make things worse for you. And then the worst of it is high protein food like beans. You must be careful. I made that mistake lately also. Sometimes you say, oh, I'm trying to avoid, because we don't have a wider variety of foods here. So some of you, maybe when your immune system is low, is under attack, we just go and eat beans. And then the whole thing will collapse. You will also observe that while you are struggling and battling to regain your immune, to reset your internal balance, there is always one mistake that you make nutritionally that normally gets you defeated. I mean, hand you over to your enemy. Let me put it that way. And that is exactly what I mean by saying be careful with food. And the first one is to fast. You can write it down. The second one is to avoid carbohydrates. It's not a building block, whether they call it rice, whether they call it whatever. But you see carbohydrates, be careful with carbohydrates. If you feel you are not strong, because your body may not be able to carry it. It's heavy. The carbohydrates are heavy. You can manage with grains. Yes, they have complex carb, but take them a little. Take them for your energy and make sure that they are loaded. That's number 2 thing. Then number 3 thing is that you need to also reduce the frequency of, the level of your activity if you have been too active because of your heart. Yes, if you have been too active, you know the cause of your breaking down. You need to reduce it because nothing can do that for you. If you have been overly active, go to market, go to meetings, go to church activities, go to so many places, and you notice that your immune system is low, my dear, your life and your health comes first. Reduce it. Find a little time to relax during the day. Because if you notice, for instance, myself, once I start feeling like that, I reduce my screen time. I will no longer be going too much on. By 6:37, I'm off the phone. That's what I do, like for 2-3 days, and my immune system start to build up. You can put this one down too. If you are one that is, of course, a good number of us seniors, most times there's no serious physical activity that we're engaging, so we still about phone. Either you are creating content or you are watching content that is created. So whichever one that you're involved in, you may also need to reduce the screen time. That's number 3. So if you are feeling that your immune system is under attack, because you see this, our eyes is one of the strongest. I've been neglecting it before. It was recently I come to realize that, you see, the nerves on our eyes is connected to every part of, even the heart. Sometimes when I have stressed myself very much on the social media, trying to create content and trying to search out to get information there, here and there, and I feel really stressed out. I noticed that when I take the ginger essential oil and place it on the edges, like use it as an eyeshadow, the way the heat goes into my body, the way the strength and the way it works, it amazes me. I say, so this is how our body is really connected. These eyes. And once it is done, after that, the eyes will relax, and a good number of times it resolves the issue of insomnia to a greater extent. I'm talking of just my placing those ginger oil, on these eyelids, or what? Do I call it eyelids? Or yes, eyelids. These are the lashes, yes. Just placing it there. It just, in a short while, you see the heat and the way it's dealing with even pains, deep down to your heart, down to your shoulders, just that little portion. So that is it. So if you are feeling that you are coming under attack, you need to also do that. Then another thing is, you need to get sea salt, especially for malaria. Please have it around you. Why? Because sometimes you may not even need food a good number of times. Like those days when I didn't have, for the past 2 nights, I have not been having dinner. Yes, don't eat anything. And what do I eat? You can also put it down. I put salt in warm water. Then I put pepper. Cayenne pepper, I put it. Before, sometimes it used to be salt alone. But when I noticed that there are ginger and garlic has been missing for a long time. So the free radicals have been enjoying themselves. Even the arteries will have been clogged over the while because there is no good ginger. Ginger is it's difficult to find. So I put the sea salt in the warm water and then a dash of cayenne pepper. Just put it and then drink. Before you know it, the whole place is charged. Sickness, my dear, cannot stay in a body that is charged. Fully charged, very hot. it is in a damp environment, when the body is cold, that cough, clogging and blocking of arteries will be existing. So this is what I did lately also. When I noticed all of that, I used the sea salt most nights. As a matter of fact, last night at about 12 midnight, when I noticed I was still awake, I had to put the sea salt inside the warm water and take it. It helped to release a lot of minerals, over 82 minerals. They move around, especially your bone health, very important. Your heart health is very important. It helps to release them, and they keep you electrolyte level on. So you won't be too weak, as to say, or you won't be going up and down, urinating here, and every now you go to the toilet to urinate, because the water you took all along thinking you are taking so much water are not going into your cells, because the electrolytes are not there, because these things are not there. But some people have deceived a good number of people, say, don't eat take salt, it's bad for your blood pressure, it's bad. It balances your electrolyte, especially if you suspect malaria, if you suspect. This is what I do practically. As a matter of fact, it's what I did recently, and I had to add even pepper, a little pepper in it, and honestly, it really gave me real results. And that was part of the reason I said I'll come and share with my subscribers, those who care to know, who care to follow. You don't say stomach ulcer. Most of those ulcer things you are talking about, a good number of them are not even ulcers. So the cayenne pepper release some of the minerals that are lacking in your body. You don't even need starch, you don't need sugar. All you need is these trace minerals, and you find them in these two foods in abundance, without sugar, without calorie. So just a pinch. That was what I did. And the whole body, especially as the weather is generally cold, because since cayenne pepper is great when it comes to blood circulation, and this is one of the biggest problems with seniors. And I noticed my feet were charged too. I'm talking when your feet, you feel the electrical current in your feet. You can feel it, the warmth as it's moving. So I noticed it, and it gave a lot of calmness throughout the night. You may not be into deep sleep. When I mean very heavily asleep because you haven't eaten much, not that type of sleep, but within you, you feel that balance. You feel that calmness. Your brain and the entire body, they are at a certain point that you know that you are not under any kind of anxiety feeling or your heart. Now that urinating quickly, I've told you about it. If you are urinating quickly, you need to check your weight. It used to happen to me before. Yes, but after the weight reduced, I took out all processed foods, all bread and biscuits from my diet. It reduced. But once in a while also, some other things may cause it. But I think if you take out a lot of the food, or maybe if you are on medication, I don't know. So some of them may be the side effect. But I have, and then menopause is also responsible sometimes, because I remember at the early years of my menopause, I used to have it. Sometimes they call it urinary incontinence. I used to have it, like you want to go urinate, and the urgency that you cannot even wait. It used to happen to me then. That urinary incontinence, you can't hold it, and it's a sign of a low immunity too. And you need to, if as a menopausal woman, you need to work on your weight very, very well. You need to take out all the processed foods, trans fat from your diet, all the biscuit, cakes, all of them. Cleanse your body of too much acids. And then make sure that you take sufficient protein, please. I have noticed something about urinating also. Now, a good number of people are not knowledgeable, or they are not aware of the importance of protein in our diet. And so a good number of times, we just be eating. I ate one egg. What is one egg in a whole day? So if the body does not have sufficient building material in the form of protein, sometimes the urination is takes another dimension. That's what I noticed myself. The urination takes another dimension. You notice that little time you urinate because there are no nutrients that the body needs to work. And each time it happens to me, I notice this is the cause. I link it. I normally find out the cause. And so, but I notice that if you are eating foods that are dense in nutrition all the time, and the foods may not be much, but at least it should be up to what you can feel satisfied with. So if you make sure that the food are dense in nutrition, what you are having, it's most likely that thing will stop. Because this urinary incontinence has happened to me also. But I remember it was more frequent. Good afternoon, ma, you're welcome. B2 Force, you're welcome to the house. So it was more frequent that time when I was, the early years of menopause. This dullness is still there, but we have to, this is everywhere, dull, but this one is quite dull for the screen. But just be okay as you can hear my voice. So I used to have it then, urinary, when you want to urinate, before you know, the thing is pressing you. Work on your weight. If you're overweight, please. That's number one. Number two, consume nutrient-dense foods. We are still going back to the subject of the day. We have not finished. I have just talked about fasting and a lot of other things. Then I have also talked about the avoidance of carbohydrates. But for this, your question, please just do this. Remove the processed food, reduce overweight, and then include nutrient-dense food in your diet. Of course, as a menopause symptom, if it continues to occur, peace be, yes, thank you, Marilyn Anderson. Yes, thank you, you're welcome to the house. So that's it. I'm talking about 8 things to do if you are feeling sick, because these are the things I do. When I say I stay healthy January to December, I've not had this whole year now, for this, I've not taken antibiotics, I've not taken malaria drug. As a matter of fact, for the past 15 years, I've not taken any antibiotics to treat any bacteria. All of them are there. We are there together. Joel Kube, you're welcome. So, hello. So, we are all there together. Create a symbiotic environment. The bad guys will eat, the good guys will eat, and everybody will be happy. That's how our body is made. But when you are trying to use antibiotics to destroy all the bacteria, all the bad guys, and it can't work, they get angry and become resistant. So you say you are having resistant malaria, you are having resistant typhoid, you are having resistant infection. Nothing. It is because you are trying to take them out of their original and natural habitat where they were created to be. This is our stomach. Our body hosts over millions of the bacteria, including the good ones that are helping us to digest our food. So if you are feeling weak, you're feeling that you are sick, number 4 or 5 things, I've lost the count now because of all this, attending to this question. So the next thing to do, let me just follow it this way, because attending to question have made me lose the count, I think so. But I am saying that you must take circulatory food seriously. And recently, I had to even take a little of cayenne pepper too, because if your stomach will continue to produce acid for digestion, sicknesses will be gone. Did you hear me? Now, because when these things come, they shut up our gut from digesting, producing acid, maybe too many cholesterol, maybe a lot of things. So when the gut is shut up from producing acid, so we don't have appetite. And when we don't have appetite, we don't eat. And when you don't eat, the cell starts dying because food is not coming in. And so one of the tricks is to ensure that the gut is healthy. And the gut is not only healthy, that you are making the gut, providing the herbs, the thing that will make the gut produce acid, make you hungry. That is all. That's one of the secrets, my secret. As a matter of fact, you also do other things to ensure that the gut is healthy. Remove the food that are difficult to digest. At the moment, yes, you remove them. Sometimes when you are feeling sick, especially seniors, for instance, so many things may be involved. Cholesterol could be part of the problem, but you may not know. So that is why rushing at first hand to rush for over-the-counter medication is not always, to me, I'm not saying that if you're sick, you shouldn't go to hospital or seek medical attention, not at all. That's not my position. I don't belong there. I said that before. But that being the first thing is to try natural things and look into your diet. Because when you are going for drugs, sometimes the cholesterol could be part of it. And then by the time you start taking medication, you are also taking, not only taking the foods, you are also even adding and increasing the cholesterol. And at a point, it looks like a lot of people are confused. They don't even know what's wrong with what's going on. So you need to do that and make sure that your electrolyte is on. It's working for me. We're learning every day. Some of these things, I didn't know them many years back. That's the truth. I've been using sea salt for more than 15 years. Or close to 15 or more. But there are various ways now that we are using it, having known its benefit, that it's really benefiting, especially seniors, because it supports your bones. It's a bone supporting, it supports your digestive health. So when it's taken, if your immune system and you're thinking it's malaria, because it's always malaria, you can suspend all this your oily food, all this your sticky nuts, all this your stuff, just a day or two. You can go in on a short fast. Don't fast because once you notice that you are no longer having appetite, boom. And people come with different symptoms when it comes to all this malaria, typhoid. Some people come with headache. I've never had headache, but my own is sleep. I won't even have aches because inflammations won't be there. I will have been struggling to shut up all the inflammatory markers all over the place, including applying some essential oils on my belly button. Yes, because there are some essential oils that if you are feeling like cold, want to come, don't allow cold though. When the cold, you start feeling cold, that's another climax of low immunity. And seniors, you mustn't allow that. You mustn't allow it. It shows that the entire area is blocked, that oxygen is not going into the cells, and there's tension and there is too much heat. So you don't have to allow yourself to the point that you are feeling shivery and you want to go for medication to that you are shaking, you are cold. When you eat too much starch, it's going to cause that. When you eat too much carbohydrates, it's going to cause you block the cells from getting the oxygen and you'll be feeling cold. And some of you will go and take analgesic, and after taking the analgesic, you will now be eating your rice, your yam, your potatoes. Not at all. The moment you suspect your system have come under attack, you slow down and stay away from those carbohydrates and begin to go towards the side of spices in moderation. And I have come to realize that one of the best spices now for seniors is that cayenne pepper. Why? Because it doesn't come with sugar. It doesn't come with, and it supports your heart. The heart is always at risk. There are different signs that the heart do give to us, even myself occasionally. So it comes with a lot of signs. So the only food that can help clean up the arteries a little, open them, relax them, and let cleaning come up naturally and relax them again. And it's good for your heart. And then it has some nutrients, small nutrients that your body needs. I mean, I'm talking of the pepper, the cayenne pepper. You will notice your eyes. If you are often experiencing something like a eyes issue, maybe on one side of your eyes, maybe swollen or bulky, sometimes if you massage it and you take that cayenne pepper with salt, or even the pepper alone, small, you may notice that the blood have circulated. It is then you will realize that poor blood circulation is most times the problem of most of us. Everyone. Once blood circulates there, you will notice kind of relaxation. Yes, this is something that I practically found out in my own case. So there are a lot of things in your body that will be fixed when the blood is the blood vessels are cleaned, and then the minerals, little minerals are going there. We are always eager to eat the solid food, the rice and the beans and all this. They are all good. But when your immune system is under attack, my dear, restrict yourself as much as possible to minerals. Those minute minerals that your body don't need in large amounts. Just to keep you going. You can find some of them like water like coconut water. Yes, because another point I want to highlight about the things you need to do is to take more of the fluids. Yes, liquid something. It doesn't have to be water. As a matter of fact, apart from water therapy in the morning, I am becoming of the view that we should not just be taking water. Let the water come with some things. You can make some herbal teas. You can also make the water, occasionally you can add, if you know you haven't had enough salt, you add 1 stone of salt, mineral. You need mineral for your bones, for your body, for your brain, and for your heart. Because the sea salt is also a source of these small minerals for your heart and all parts of the body. So you need to get yourself more fluid. Because if you don't get more fluid when you're feeling sick, that is when temperature thing begins to mount. And when your body becomes poorly hydrated, if your immune system is low, it won't be long, you start feeling hot. Yes, your body will be hot. And before your body gets hot, outwardly for people to feel it by just touching, before it gets to that point, you're already shivering. I can't remember when that, oh my God. See what ignorance did to us. I remember many years back when, I would just be shivering. I'll be shivering and say, cover me with blankets, cover me with clothes, bring a lot of sweaters. My dear, knowledge is power, is good. Remember that some of you that are watching me, in those years, when the children are shivering because of poor nutrition, due to poverty, I remember some of those things. Instead of the children to be exposed and fed with liquid, electrolyte food, those children will be covered with blankets. They will be covered with so many clothes, and the cold never goes away until convulsion sets in. And sometimes those children are lost, and they say it's evil spirits that have taken the child away. See what ignorance is doing to us, my dear. We say the demonic forces have done it. But you will notice lately that it is very rare these days to hear that children die of convulsion. And most of these things are among the low-class people. What I mean, when the poverty area, children, because they are not getting the nutrients that they should get. They're not getting sufficient protein. They are not properly fed. And if you have someone that have children, let them pay attention to the protein in the food of that child. Make sure the child is getting sufficient protein, vitamins, and minerals to avoid disease, to avoid things like that. Before they say devil or evil spirit have come, the child is shivering. That feeling cold and feeling shivering is purely mineral and nutritional deficiency. It can be taken care of. I can tell you for free without even doing anything. The children are not worried. They don't pay school fees. Just give the child, feed this child properly. Get the child clean, good water sufficiently. Let there be enough protein and minerals and all that the body needs. You will notice that the child will hardly fall sick. Talk less of convulsion. And so when they are lacking, so that's a digression, but you can also pass it to your children, your grandchildren, or your friends. A lot of people are still living in ignorance, claiming that it is the devil that is causing the children to have convulsion. It's not the devil. These are complications of high temperature. These are complications of when the blood inside the body, there's no oxygen going on because no proper nutrition. So that is it. So you need to start to apply these things for yourself and even for your children so that you can educate them too. Yes, because what you know you can pass on to your children in case they're in school or somewhere, that they shouldn't be eating solid food, going for noodles when their body is hot. Don't do it. You take the noodles, then you take paracetamol. Yes, the level of, there's too much work to do, my dear, because of ignorance. I saw a man yesterday, it's an old man, elderly man. Did he come to buy and eat? Is a bottle of Fanta and biscuits, 2 of them. He was eating. I couldn't hold my peace. I told him, sir, sorry, you may say I'm not minding my business, but actually this is my business. Why do you have to eat these 2 food? Why not buy egg and take it? And so this is exactly what we are saying. And so another thing that you need to do is, apart from reducing solid food, remember, reduce your solid food. You fast for a while. The things that you need to do if you are feeling sick: increase your fluid, the fluid in your food. Then you need to also go at the citrus. You don't have to take too much because of what? Vitamin C. It helps to neutralize free radicals. There are also at times some of the signals that you may get before the real sickness comes. You may not be passing urine frequently. Some of you don't take notice. So when you are not passing out urine the way you are passing out urine, the tension is building around the heart. It's building all over. But by the time you take proper food that help to support your immune system, you will notice that your urine quantity will increase. The quality too. Because sometimes you say, the urine is yellow, it's malaria. It's not. It's because of poor hydration. There's no sufficient water. That's why it's looking yellow. It's not malaria that is in it, like some of us are saying. Then you say it's malaria. Look at the urine; it's yellow. It's because the person has not taken sufficient water. So water is very important. You need to take this. If it's a younger person, if you can find a way to press out the orange juice inside the water and let the person take it, and let the vitamin C start to neutralize those free radicals that are making the condition worse. But for us seniors, even in the absence of this, you can take dry cayenne, as I said, and put it in hot water. It's something I didn't know that I could try. It doesn't matter whether you say you had ulcer or you suffer ulcer. Don't be carried away by this idea that, oh, ulcer is there and it will always be there. That is it. The next thing to do, if you suspect that you're not okay, or your body is, to avoid this complication of high temperature, is why you should avoid solid foods, too much beans. As a matter of fact, I remember sometime last year, about this time last year, it was these beans of a thing that knocked me down. Because sometimes it's okay, I don't want to eat that, I want to, you know, it's okay, it's beans. If malaria is there and your liver is not in good health and your kidney is not in good health, if you eat beans, some of us are doing it too, and it has landed us into trouble. If there's only thing, even if you want to eat the beans, you may need to eat it in very reduced amount, because the kidney and the liver are not in the best health condition to process all of that. And then another thing that you need to do if you are feeling that you are not okay, and maybe something is to include anti-inflammatory food that fight inflammations. I have said that you should include food that help your stomach to produce acid. Ginger is one. I didn't remember to mention the foods. Ginger is one of them. Include ginger, include garlic, 2 of them, very important. Because I started by telling us I neglected these foods. Ginger, garlic, and lemon. They were almost out totally. And I was just, enjoying myself until all those symptoms came. So your symptom may be different from mine. It could be different from that of Mr. B. But the point is that once you start suspecting those things, my dear, start doing the things I told you. Reduce the food, especially at night, because if you eat heavily at night, you may wake up with high temperature. You go to bed. And then another thing again that you have to reduce your carbohydrates. Start, if possible, be very careful with carbohydrates, because it's going to hurt. It's going to hand you over to the disease, or it's going to destroy the immune system. And I have said that if you have been doing too many activities, you need to rest. It doesn't matter what it is. Put it down and rest. And one of the things I do also is to reduce the screen time. Yes, I had to do this live. I almost canceled it, as a matter of fact. I said it from the beginning. But the point is that you have to reduce anything that you think is an activity that you are into, that you are really doing it, and you think you need to relax. Go ahead, my dear, because your head comes first. So anytime I am a sick person, anytime I feel my immune system is under attack, the first thing I do, among other things, is to reduce my time on the screen. 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm off the screen. Anything screen, I'm not there. Don't call, invite me. So that's a good way so that the eyes will rest, because the eyes is part of the immune system. I already explained that. Don't joke with that. These tiny things that are there, they control a lot of nerves. It's something I noticed lately, and honestly, it shocked me when I tried those remedies and saw how it's working and sending heat, those tiny things all over my body. So it is one of it, so that it won't get, because one thing with our body is that when you give opportunity for one particular aspect, if you allow your immune system to be suppressed in one area, it's most likely that it's going to allow open door for others. Yes, it's going to open door for others. But one of the most important things that you need to do is to watch your gut health. Get fermented foods that are easier to digest. Get fermented food, so that as you are taking these, your spices, then now the crisis of it, where some people say they have developed ulcers, when you are trying to manage things like malaria or typhoid or similar things like that, you need to have a good probiotics. So, but if you don't have a probiotics, you'll be taking ginger, lemon juice, this and that. Before you know it, they have already eroded the delicate walls of your intestine. Yes, they have eroded it in the sense that it becomes so open for wound, so easy for wound to occur there. And that is not good for you. So the way to pamper the digestive health, the gut health, is to make sure that you take things like occasional fermented millet, whether you take it. As a matter of fact, sometimes I use the fermented millet. When I notice that it's like my body is no longer, the balance is going out, I quickly got me those fermented millet. And this is something I've been off for a while. I quickly got somebody to do it for me. That's why if you don't have the time, or you can't do it, just get somebody, give somebody some money to do it for you. So I quickly went and did that millet that I showed us, to keep it around, because it's an immune boosting. It's going to help you. It calms your brain. Those, if yours has to do with poor sleep, it's going to help you too, if you take it in moderation. And then you can even use it occasionally to mix with your other things like fermented tapioca powder, which is jebuga, a little bit to take your swallow. You can just do these things without even anybody guiding you, a little bit, because it has some amount of protein. That is what we're looking for. It's rich in the big group of vitamins. I'm talking of the millet. So if you get it fermented, you keep it around. Whether there's fridge or not, you can always make little of it. But I have noticed something about it too for seniors. If you want to take it, ensure you add some of the spices. I don't add spices to mine, I told you before, because there are various ways I can use it. So but you can add, it's better to add spices, ginger, sometimes turmeric, or you can even add the cayenne pepper. I haven't tried it, but it's going to be very good, because it has a resistant starch. So you need to get the fermented foods and other fermented stuff around you to ensure that you are not defeated, because the fight on our immune system is a daily one, it's a continuous one. So you cannot afford to just relax and say, okay, it's just pains on one leg. If you don't attend to that pains on one leg, it will soon enter the second leg. That's why you don't have to just, play it low on any symptom or just relax. Any little symptom, you need to pay attention. Then the next thing I also do, which is one of the areas people neglect, is your oral health. Once you notice that their immune system is already, you are not fine, you're feeling that you are sluggish, you're a little bit you start to give closer attention to your oral health. As a matter of fact, if you finish brushing your teeth, you can take one clove because it has antibacterial properties to make sure there are no bacteria living there. You can wash one clove and put it, in case you don't even have cayenne pepper, and put it there. It's going to destroy. There won't be anything like sore throat, toothache. You don't have to wait until the thing is aching so bad before you start doing something. So you can put it. It helps to be lowering your sugar. And if, of course, sugar is one of the feeders of these diseases. So I don't need to be telling you to stop sugar. You already know that. So it's going to help you to reduce, if there are traces of yeast, all those white fungus around the oral health, it's going to reduce your sugar generally, and then improve your sleep, even help aid and support your digestion. Yes, I'm talking of the cloves. It's one of the immune boosting foods. It's a healing food. It's a liver supporting food. But there is also something I need also to highlight in this part, and that is to say that you should stop focusing on one particular herb, because the body is different. I mean, the body needs are many, and the bacteria that are at war with us are millions. So you cannot just focus on one herb. If you are using one herb, it may kill the first bacteria, then the second one will escape. Something like cough, for instance. If you suspect that cough or your chest is not clear, like it happened to me that first day, I noticed some kind of, some sluggish feelings around the cardiovascular area. So I had to add, boil my lemongrass, little quantity, and then I had to add the guava leaf, a little of it. Guava leaf sends cough packing, in case you don't know. If you suspect cough, you better go and get some, and then boil it and drink. It's going to help you, because it's very good in warding off cough. And that's why sometimes I'm now beginning to combine herbs, but I need to know what I'm combining and do it cautiously, because you don't have to rush into herbs. They are very powerful. Some of them have very strong effect that can be very, frightening. Let me use the word frightening. So some of the effect that they have can be very frightening. If you just gather some herbs, boil, and then you say you are going to drink it, that nothing is going to do you anything. It's going to, sometimes they can start creating tension inside of your body and then throw you out of your balance. The balance that you're trying to regain can be thrown out of it again. So all the effort is to regain that internal balance and get what was missing there, and then get what was in excess out. That is what it is when you talk of being sick. So get what is missing in, and get those ones that are in excess in your body, reduce them if it's fat. And there are foods that will do all of this. Any aspect you want it. If you want to reduce the fats like peanuts, you start consuming alkaline foods like cucumbers, cabbage. If you think you have consumed too much acidic nuts and it's part of the feeding of the foods in your body that have thrown you out of balance and you need to regain it, you start bringing in foods like alkaline foods like carrots, cabbage, cucumbers, apples. They will knock out the acid, and then your balance will gradually come back. There are foods like the eggplant. These are foods that can help you also. And there are other foods also that are even in the seeds family that can help you. So all you need to do is to restore back that balance. And if it was thrown out by stress, like I said, we don't talk much about stress. Stress is destroying a lot of people, and both emotional stress, financial stress, all kind of stress, mental stress. Stress is very wide and it's affecting a lot of people and affecting our health. So if it's stress, if it's a physical stress, you need to also slow down and then trust God to do some of the things, because at a point you soon realize that the battle is not to the swift. Sometimes you are, and someone that is not even struggling as much as you are struggling, maybe having more opportunities and more, more more doors opened. That is it. And so at certain times we just tend to relax and trust God to do some of the things. That is exactly the point. And so there are several other things that you can do to help you to, reduce the symptoms, because this is actually symptom that we are working again. I have realized what happens when we go to hospital, why they are always concerned about symptoms. It is now that I realize it. The symptoms, if you can handle the symptoms very well, most times those things will disappear. Yes. If you can stop inflammations, for instance, and stop the cause of it, so a good time, the disease may not even be showing up again. So the symptoms, messages that your body is sending to you, they are those things that your body is, those signals that are sending to you that something is wrong. So you need to take note of them and work on them. I think that's where they got that you must mention the symptom when you get to the hospital, because it is that symptom that they are going to be addressing in order to address the issue, in order to know the problem. So you need to attack the inflammations. If you attack inflammations and ensure that you do not feed the disease by bringing in all the enemies of your immune system, too much carbohydrates, too much trans fat and processed foods. So I see some people, they say, I don't have appetite, my body, I don't even feel like eating anything. And you see, what are they eating? A bottle of Fanta or Coke, a bottle of carbonated drink is all that they think they can eat. I've seen a lot of very intelligent people, I mean, intelligent in quote, you say you don't feel like, my body, I don't even feel like eating anything solid. And what are they taking? Carbonated drink in bottle. Say, that is all I can take. Yes, we were all in it together. But now that you know, if you think you need to, you can get yourself pineapple, fresh pineapple, and take as an immune booster. You can boil yourself some hibiscus tea and sweeten it with your pineapple and drink. It's a drink, rich. Instead of going to buy the one that flavors, comes with flavors and all the stuff that they added. And at the end of the day, all these things will join forces to create inflammations all over the body, causing you weight gain, honestly, causing you weight gain. Because if you are suspecting that you are sick or you're feeling sick, you need to consume food that wouldn't allow you to gain weight. That is why carbohydrates has to be taken out, at least, not really out, but at least you need to take carbohydrates cautiously. As a matter of fact, it's good to take them out the first, second day. High carb, and if you take any carb, maybe it should just be small amount of oat because of the big group of vitamins. So you don't have to, my dear. You don't have to. You don't have to succumb to those things. This is what happened to me lately also. I had to, because of those relaxation, no ginger, no garlic, I just relax. You feel, and then, but I have got reports from a lot of people, this is actually the season of cold, and a lot of people are complaining of either malaria, typhoid. It's a very tempting season, I must tell you, those of you in Nigeria. So you see a lot of people complain of joint pains, arthritis, and all of that. I am not having joint pain, but as much as possible also, I'm trying all I can, because these are age-related issues, to include foods that will help strengthen the bones. Yes, and these are the ones I shared with you already, that you should include them. Even the turmeric is a good one. Just this turmeric you're seeing, whether you are taking it internally or applying topically as an oil, which is what I do most of the time, it's going to help to strengthen your bones. In fact, one of my best essential oils is that turmeric oil. It helps you, even if you are feeling feverish, or you're just feeling your food is being poorly digested or being slowed down in digestion. You can just reduce it, and it's going to, you can just apply it. Apply it. It's going to give you result and stop all those signs of fevers. Because you cannot wait until you start feeling feverish. That's a very high level of, low immunity, when you notice that you are now shivering. I wouldn't want to hear such a report from any of my subscribers who are my members, a member of this channel, a member of the community or whatever. You must belong and follow what we're saying, so that you don't come saying you are feeling cold, so you went and took analgesic, or you are feeling this, you went and took this. No. You should be off those things by now. You should know the cause of it and avoid it. Yes. Since I discovered those secrets, I've not had headache for almost about 15 years too. Cough, the same thing. So some of these things, because if you know the food that can trigger it, like now there's corn everywhere. A lot of people are, sometimes you just eat corn. Before you know it, you say it's malaria. Cough. Start coughing. It's the corn. Those fiber, those gluten in the corn, they are all around your chest. Your children, the same thing, and they start coughing. Before you know it, you are off to the pharmacy to buy drug. For what? Malaria. So we should be properly informed about these foods that we are consuming, so that you'll be able to know which one to take when your system is under attack, when your immune system is under attack. You don't need to allow yourself to be completely defeated. It's a war. It's a battle. I tell you the truth. It's a battle. And I see it like that. You lie down to sleep. Sometimes you are not sleeping because the blood is not circulating well. So these are some of the things that you need to, understand, so that you have nothing, will have no reason to allow the immune system to break down to the point of shivering, feeling cold, shaking like small children, and then you'll be looking for over-the-counter medication to come and stop the cold. No, you open the door, so you got to close it, using food as your medicine. There are so many spices and herbs that you can take. Each one is unique. There's no two that are the same. No two herbs are the same. So you get to know which one you are taking. And one of the things I try to avoid is the, what is it called? The caffeine. But there is also one food with caffeine, which is great if you suspect it's malaria. And as a matter of fact, 4 or 5 days ago, I had to take one bitter cola. Yes, one bitter cola. The first time I noticed my system was sluggish, quite sluggish. And I had even taken some of these proteinous legumes, and they were stocked, stocked. My dear, the first thing to do, you know what? was to go for walnut. I mean, bitter cola. And it actually worked. Just one, no, not every day. Just it worked. Because after taking it, it's going to go down. Not in the night, in the morning, midday. It's going to go very deep. It's going to do a lot of job all over the body. And from there, you start to build up your immune system. And then you remember the bitters. The bitters help to support your liver. Yes, the bitters are very important. If you suspect it's malaria, for instance, you can boil lemongrass tea and what is it called? Neem tea. It's very potent, two of them. One of them is not able to do it. So you can boil lemongrass tea and take, what is it called? Neem tea, and boil with it together. Because your body needs bitters too occasionally. And both of them have antibacterial properties, particularly the neem tea. We call it dogoyaro here. You can get the powdered one or the fresh one, and then you just use it to boost your immunity and stop and prevent those high level cases of fever. Say you are having fever, your child is having fever, they are preventable. If you suspect it coming, stop the inflammations and you stop the disease, stop the fevers. So you don't have to, continue to allow yourself to be victim or be defeated because the war is ongoing. So these are the things I do, and I'll keep doing. If you think you need rest, then you need to rest. If you need time off the screen, give reduce the screen time, because your life comes first. You notice a few days, like 2 days or so, I didn't really do any video. Though occasionally I just look at the phone and check some of the videos, check some TikTok and all of that. But I don't have the mental power. Because when your system is there, it affects every part of you. Even your mentality. Your ability to work, to coordinate is also affected. That's how it is. So it's not just that especially for the seniors, if your sleep was scanty, for instance, like mine was that day, if your sleep was scanty, you won't have the energy to work, to do much. So you have to work to restore it first. And then it will help you after you've done that, add a quality to be having, you now become more energetic to do your job. That is it. So it's not something you have to be so downcast about all those symptoms that the body is giving us. Whether your own is not sleeping, whether it's headache, whether it's some worst cases could be diarrhea self. Now it rarely happens, but when it happens, even malaria can come up with diarrhea. Sometimes you are trying remedies and the system is thrown out completely. It starts to run in form of diarrhea. You have to stop it. So these are the things. You have to stop it. And there are food. But if you are taking fermented millet, this is one of the reasons I always like to have it. If you're having any of those gut issues, if you're having fermented millet and you're taking it during that period, your gut will be somehow protected. It cannot just go out of balance and start diarrhea like that because of the healthy gut bacteria that come from the fermented food that you are taking. Remember, there are other fermented foods like your iru and the rest of it. So you have to, and then don't forget, food remains our medicine, but moderation is our rule. Don't forget to join us as a community, because that is what we talk about every day. That is what we do. Trying to live a holistic life. Trying to depend on food. Use food as our medicine. Not just, not just rushing for medications all the time. So you have to, you know, reduce most of these things if you think your system or your immune system is under attack, so that you will not be feeling the disease. So because that's exactly what has been helping me, is what has been working for me, and that is how I've been living most of the time, avoiding over-the-counter antibiotics and over-the-counter medications. So that is where we'll be ending it for now. And I want to thank all of you for coming. Thank you so much. And keep staying healthy naturally. Don't forget to subscribe if you are just coming here for the first time. So let's see how tomorrow is going to be, because I may or may not, but if I will be alive tomorrow, definitely. You know, I'm still having some time off to get my system strongly intact so that we continue to do what we love doing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. See you again.